Subroutines engaged. AI activated. This unit is online. Welcome to Ninethie Gaming.
Hello everybody, my name is Ninethie and welcome to today's video, Ninethie Gaming. I just clicked my knuckles, don't know if you could hear that. This is me off script. I felt really to get and capture what I want out of my honest review would be to not script it, because that kind of seems like, well, then it's false. Things have been written deliberately, whereas if I speak from my head and my heart, it's more honest, if that makes nothing wrong with scripted things, obviously, just I would prefer to do it in this format. I know kind of this is like the first review I've ever really put out there, and I don't know if it'll do well or not, but this is my honest opinion, or my honest opinions on Fallout 76's expansion Wastelanders. Overall, I've never really been a fan of Fallout 76. I've always ripped into it because of the problems it has, because of the greed of Bethesda, the issues that have always been present and presented with the game, as well as everything surrounding the games, from the shitty little, terrible leather Fallout 76 jacket, to the Adams store, to which I myself have been, I would say, guilty of purchasing one bundle, which was the pint-sized slasher bundle. So as much as I want to call people out for paying into these microtransactions, I absolutely have done so myself, and that's very hypocritical of me, but you know, sometimes you just get too tempted, which is what they're designed for, and it's criminal, it's disgusting, and I hate the fact that I fell for it, but that, you know, whatever, we're going off track. So it should come at no surprise that I'm only like level 130 something at this point. I have played the game extensively enough to experience all that it had to offer before Wastelanders came out, because for me, you can only really truly critique a game if you have it and you see what it has to offer. So I did that, and I'm a huge fan of Fallout. I love Fallout New Vegas. It's my favorite game of all time, if you didn't know. So I'm bitterly disappointed with Fallout 76, or at least I was. Wastelanders introduces human NPCs to the game, much needed human NPCs to the game, to bring life back into Appalachia, and it works for the most part. I've not had this much fun in this game in a long time. In fact, since I started fucking playing the game to begin with. It feels like Fallout again, to a degree. It feels like an open world multiplayer sandbox Fallout game, which is kind of what we always asked for. Right, we always asked for cooperative value in Fallout or Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. We've always sought after multiplayer mods or co-op mods, and Fallout 76 kind of tries to deliver on that now. I don't know if that's the initial intention behind it, but that's, to me, what it seems to be doing. Wastelanders adds two main factions that you can join up with, the Settlers and the Raiders. I'm always going to side with Settlers because I think Raiders are fucking stupid. I don't know why anyone would ever want to settle with Raiders when they literally live in shit. But, you know, that's like personal preference coming through, right? So, it takes place in the story. There's a treasure that's bringing everybody back to Appalachia, and you have to, like, get some inoculation. I'll try not to spoil it too much in this section. And you have to, like, inoculate all these people and make sure they don't get infected with the Scorch Plague, yada yada yada, all that business, all that jazz. And, you know, you meet certain characters you thought might have been dead before because, you know, the story kind of just ended and there was nothing else to do in the game. It's like, well, did this character die or not? And I'm pretty sure the specific character I'm talking about, you find their body and now suddenly they're alive. Fine, whatever, cool. It kind of, like, refreshes the story. It adds so much life to the game. There's more things to do. There's more, people to see. You've got the cult of Mothman. I myself I'm a Mothalite, so these cultists, they praise the false icon, the pretender god. It's really quite a pleasant experience to walk around in Appalachia, which is not a bad map, and see raiders fighting cultists or scorched fighting settlers. It's great. The game feels alive again. Obviously, there are still bugs. I don't think you'll ever play a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game or Bethesda game in general where there won't be bugs, and we should always criticize them for that. I feel this mentality of, oh, it's a Bethesda game, it's going to have bugs, is toxic and bad, because that's part of what led to Fallout 76 and its initial release and state. Aside from minor bugs, like the character Beckett not interacting with me and I have to kind of go off and do another thing for like an hour, they come back to him and he suddenly starts working and engaging with me, there really aren't that many bugs to tell, aside from bugs that are obviously previously in the game anyway that still haven't been fixed, surprising literally fucking no one. There was a duplication bug and people cheated and obviously used it and it ruined it for the rest of us, which I think Bethesda are fixing the items involved with that right now as we speak. Fantastic. But I do have one major problem with Wastelanders, a catastrophically big issue for someone like me. Now, spoilers, if you haven't completed the main story of Wastelanders, log off now. Go play the game, because I don't want to spoil it for you, and I'll wait a couple of seconds past my tick for you to off so you don't spoil it for yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so at the end of the main quest, you can side either with the settlers or the raiders. It's bad that you can't side with the Mothman cultists, just saying. But you can either side with the raiders or the settlers to loot Vault 79, which has these thing called gold bullions on. And the whole concept is you kind of want the money in order to bring back the economy of the great American West, that sort of thing. And great, fantastic concept. I loved the raid. It was kind of fun. I churned through stim packs and died a lot of the fucking time because holy shit, things hit hard. And I'm fine with that. Like a level 130, I've kind of got most of the mutations the game has to offer. My character's a tank. He's pretty strong. So when I come across something that's difficult in the game, and like in this regard, I'm like, thank God, I'm gonna have a challenge. Unless it's Mile Kings or Mr. Gutsies or Ghouls, they can fuck off. They completely ruin the game and are way too strong. But like this mission I'm referring to, fantastic experience. Really don't have a problem with it. It's the right difficulty. I think it tailors to your level. That's great. I really felt the pressure. I really felt I was in a Fallout game. What comes next is my main problem. It's the currency that you introduce at the end of it called gold bullions. And what they are is you collect these gold bullions and you go to the Raiders, Settlers, or the Secret Service, which is the new faction you meet at the end of the quest, to trade them in for plans for armors or weapon mods or weapons and like settlement camp editions, that sort of thing. And there's a lot to offer. So initially when I was seeing the price that's in the in the Secret Service section, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is kind of expensive. But at the end of the quest, I have 500 gold given my choices, so it doesn't seem like it's too bad. And then I discovered that there's actually a cap. So what happens is you have to complete daily activities for the Settlers or Raiders, or even the Secret Service, I think. Complete daily events, which you did anyway, and then complete like these special missions, and you'll get this thing called treasury notes. So like, as an example, killing the Scorchbeast Queen will give you 4 treasury notes. It's that sort of concept. I'm like, okay, that's fine, that seems a bit grindy, but it shouldn't be too bad, until I realized the treasury notes give you, I think it's 10 gold bullions to 1 note, so it's an exchange rate of times 10, which is kind of shitty. But it's even more shitty when the daily cap for gold bullions you can get is 200. Yeah, it's 200. And on screen you can see items that are like 1,650. There's a lot of them. There's a lot. And I was like, that seems wild. And then I found out you can buy gold bullions. And I was like, well, maybe you can buy like 1,000 for like 6,000 caps, 5,000 caps. Wrong. You can buy 300 for 6,000 caps, which is an exorbitant amount, like literally extortion. So the weekly cap, mathematically, is 1,700 if you want to spend 6,000 caps a week. If you don't want to spend that money, and I don't fucking blame you, expect to only get 1,400 a week. When there's items in the store that are 2,000 and above, or around the 2,000 mark, I'm thinking to myself, that's fucking ludicrous. That's so damn stupid that I have to save up that much and log into the game daily just to get that as fast as I can. Because there's a cap. The 200 gold bullion cap really limits what you can do.
Those prices physically can't be right? I was like, nah, that looks like it's gonna be an absolute ball ache to get. It's always talking about how it takes like a month to get the power armor, and I was like, a month, an actual month to get the power armor. Okay, well that seems fucking ludicrous. So I went to the guy, and I saw that you can, if you don't care about spoilers and you're looking at the screen, you can see I have 580, right? So if I were to get this item, I'd pretty much lose half of that. You know, I don't want that item anyway. I pretty much don't want any of this. This until we get to the mods, which are these, and the actual things in question. So for like the thing that I want, it would be for the helmet 1,650, for that specific edition 2,000, for the left arm 750, left leg 750. And then the right arm, so you can't even buy the arms together, bro. You can't buy the limbs together, you have to buy them separately. So, you know, that's like 1,400, 1,500, the fucking arms. And then 3,000 altogether for the arms and legs. And couple that, 3,000 for the arms and legs, 4,650 arms, legs, helmet. I forget what the chest is. Pretty sure the chest is overpriced as well. Yeah. So, was I like 4,600? 6,000? 8,000. It's gonna cost you 8,000 to get that set. I want that set. You can only, at max, if you don't spend any money on like any caps in the game, at max you can get 1,500 per week. If you want to spend 6,000 caps a week, you can get 1,700 a week. So that's 8 weeks or 2 months of solid back-to-back grinding for me to get this set. I don't have that time. I work. And even if I did have that time, even if I had an unlimited amount of time to play this game, I wouldn't do that anyway.
People are like, yeah, but there's not really a cap because you could keep the treasury notes and all you have to do is log in. I don't have time every day to log in to Wastelanders. I certainly don't have time every day to play one specific game. You know, I edit, I work, and there are people out there that work a hell of a lot harder and a hell of a lot more than me that have even less time. They don't know life the game. They've never, like, not worked. They've never just stayed at home and just played games all day. And even if you do just stay home and play games all day, not repping into you, you're still not gonna get this anytime soon. For one specific set, the Secret Service armor, it's gonna take 1 to 2 months of constant logging in and grinding and only spending 5 minutes to exchange it, or spending 10 minutes or however long it takes for you to grind and exchange it just to get 200 gold bullions. And I worked out the maths. I had my friend Kyrie and the pie when I was working out the maths, and I've got the paper right here. Now, not everybody wants to get everything, right? That's just a common thing. But speaking from someone who plays the likes of GTA and Elder Scrolls Online, actual massive multiplayer online games, ESO specifically, I am accustomed to grind. I have no problem with grind. But check this out. The total cost of everything from the Secret Service people is 52,650. Now, my maths could be wrong. I may have missed out an item or added on an item, but it's around that. We'll say 52,000. Now, the weekly cap is 1,700 or 1,400, so it's going to take you 30 to 31 weeks to unlock everything because of that cap. That's not just 30 to 31 weeks of time, constant, consistent back-to-back of playing the game. That's 30 to 31 weeks of coming in, getting your 20 fucking notes, and being done. And that's going to push people away. And I was looking on Reddit. I even posted on Reddit myself, and people attacked me because Redditors are weird. Fallout 76 shields are weird. And I've been seeing posts like, why is there a daily limit on a significant amount of endgame? Daily legendary scripts, 150. Disagree with. This should be like 500. Daily vendor cap, 1,400. I feel like that should be 3,000. Daily gold cap, 200. I don't think there should be a cap on gold. I really don't. And they list their reasons, and people are like, I get the vendor cap as it's to slow down the economy growth in the game. However, disagree with you entirely, mate. You know, there are people out there that get real money from like 2-shot bloodied explosive weapons. The economy's already fucked. I don't mind there being a cap on caps, but maybe raise it a little bit. And people talk about the cap on buying bullion is fine, but you should be able to grind as many events as possible to unlock treasury notes, as that is the whole point of late game of Fallout 76, to grind and get good rewards. I completely agree, couldn't have worded that better myself. A better way to do a time gate would be to implement weekly limits instead of daily limits. Yes, for perhaps script, but not for gold bullions. My stance on gold bullions is simple. There should be no fucking cap on it. When people turn around and they say to me, like, I don't know if I can find my post on here, but like people were telling me, yeah, people were like telling me, there's like, oh, that's the whole point of MMOs. That's the whole point. The whole point of MMOs, the whole point of endgame is for it to take ages. I completely disagree with you entirely. I have played games where I have been able to endgame something in a week to 2 weeks, and I've got the gear. That's my fault. So when someone decides to smash out the game, like Destiny 2, let's have an example. Destiny 2, the community fucking hates Destiny 2 because it tried this, and then eventually it lifted this. And the people that stayed are the people that are like super dedicated fans, and they just smashed it out of the park. They destroyed it, and for a while they were fine with that. They're like, oh hey, and all the casual people like me, they're like, oh hey, Destiny fucking 2, that's got a lot to offer. Sure, it's not got as much as like Destiny 1 had to offer, but at least this like weekly and daily cap bollocks is almost non-existent. Great, fantastic. Obviously you still have events that are timed, but you know my point. And then you got the crowd, the absolute diehards saying, oh, the game has nothing to do, I hate this game, it's shit. And the reason for that is because they smashed it out of the park. They completely destroyed it. They spent an entire week not coming off their console or PC and completing all there is to complete, and then they complain that there's nothing else to do. That's the same argument that's being said for this. If there's no cap, that's going to happen, and people will have no endgame. That's your fucking fault. I'm sorry, that's your own fault. You haven't got a gun to your head forcing you to play the game all the time. And if you enjoy the game enough to smash it out of the park in under a week or 2 weeks, then you should still be able to enjoy the game, to consistently play it without that little motivation. Fallout 76 has a fuck ton to offer past the end game, but the end game being the be-all pinnacle of concepts is really fucking demotivating because it's so hard to attain. I don't think casual players should be punished because there are a certain small amount of people that will smash it out of the park. It's their choice to do it. It's their choice to play the game and no other game. And it's weird that we've got such a low cap. If it's to stop those people, I don't get it, because you aren't going to retain their attention for long. And if it's just to stop casual players and actually make it so this end gear is literally like rare, I guess, and make it worth more, you are pushing so many people away, in my opinion. you are pushing a lot of people away. Because casual people are coming and going, finally, Fallout 76 is more like a Fallout game. Oh, the end game gear is like years away. Like, actually over half a year away to get everything. I'm not joking. 7 or 8 months of constant logging in and grinding is a fucking joke. So that's my main issue with Fallout 76. So Bethesda, if you're watching this, or anybody that is watching this, please try and send this to Bethesda. That cap needs to go. Initially, I thought maybe if you increased the exchange rate for treasury notes, maybe to 100, maybe to 20, maybe to 50, get rid of the cap, that would have been fine, or, you know, decrease the prices. But everybody seems to be consistently saying that the cap shouldn't be there at all, and I agree. I do think treasury notes should be worth more, but I am fine with them being, I guess, 10. I guess 10, because when you get 10, you get 100. It's a bit of a low price, but I can live with that if the cap goes. That's just my take. Wastelanders is a great experience, and I'm really enjoying it, but this single problem alone is enough to make me not want to play the game, because I know the gear that I want is going to be so fucking far to achieve. And it's not because of my own inadequacy, it's not because of my own impatience, or it's because it's so super fucking hard to achieve. It's because there's such a limiting low cap on it. Yeah, like, I've got so much stuff on Elder Scrolls Online, it's you know, it's hard to really, like, I've got masterwork shit on Elder Scrolls Online, so it's hard for someone to say to me I haven't got the patience for grinding, because I absolutely have. I know what to grind, I know where to grind, I know where to get it, I know what I want, blah 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 blah. This is just stupid, in my opinion. Let people grind if they want to grind, and if people whine that they've grinded too much and they've got nothing to do, that's on them. But that's it. Other than that, I feel like if you have Fallout 76, it's definitely worth a reinstall for Wastelanders. If you're thinking about getting Fallout 76, I would still wait until it's like £20, $25 to $15 and £10 in price. That kind of under halfway mark, because it's a good game, but it's not a great game. Hopefully it will improve. My name is Ninethie. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in the next video. See you later.
They were not happy with how fast people were leveling and the guns and legendaries that they were getting from it. It's like, that's the whole point of the end game content. We want it to be a grind fest, so what if you're getting a shit ton of legendaries drop? Most of them were shite anyway.